Hi folks, Slick Slices here. Just want to show you another new knife from Michael May, and this is a Wharncliffe. Now, it's not these two, they'll be coming in a minute. The Wharncliffe is a design that comes from 19th century Yorkshire again, but this time not from a knife maker in Yorkshire, but from a guy called Lord Wharncliffe. Lord Wharncliffe was a member of the House of Lords, and had an estate and a gamekeeper and so forth. And apparently, between he and his gamekeeper, I suspect more the gamekeeper, came up with a design of a knife that was particularly suitable for dressing small game. So squirrels, pigeons, rabbits, perhaps. And he came up with this design. Now I have a couple here already. I'll just show you the basic design. This one here is it's by Stephen Cocker. The other thing about these is they're all Stag, so that's already letting the cat out of the bag with the Michael May one. Now this one is a real toughie, but then again, it's an Arthur Wright, so what do you expect? Now, I have to say the quality of Stephen Cocker's Stag is so much better than the Arthur Wright. Plus, it's got a bigger, stronger bolster, so I'm really keen on that one. But I think it was a bit more expensive. Just need to give these a wee wipe as well, because one of the things I like about Stephen Cocker's knives is that he puts a good polish on them. But the quid pro quo for that is that they take fingerprints really badly, and it shows up really badly on camera. So this one's more of a satin blade. This is a user knife, and it's less than half the price of the Stephen Cocker one. So it's unfair to compare one with the other. But as I say, it's a Wharncliffe blade. But the pattern of knife is called the Ettrick. Now, the Ettrick is a river in the Scottish borders, and again, there is a Lord Ettrick, although he's actually Napier and Ettrick. He was Napier first. First Lord Napier invented logarithms, so if you ever hated them at school, that's who to blame. And there's a university named after him in Edinburgh, Napier University. But he, I don't know whether he eventually got given the Ettrick title as well, because it apparently gave him more seniority in the House of Lords, and I can't remember the whole story behind who was what with what, but my stepfather was a Napier. He was cousin to the current Lord Napier, but they're all dead now, all the people I knew. Anyway, so I don't quite know the connection with Ettrick, whether it's him or there's a guy called the Ettrick Shepherd who was a poet, a sort of vernacular poet, and maybe it's something to do with him. Maybe it's just to do with the river. I don't know. But Ettrick is the pattern, Wharncliffe is the blade. I certainly know where the Wharncliffe blade came from, although, as I say, I suspect it was probably his gamekeeper rather than Lord Wharncliffe himself designing and making the knife. Now, I've already got one from Michael May. This one obviously was a wooden one. It's got brass bolsters. Michael is always keen on brass bolsters, which I like. But the difference with this one is, although it's a sort of an Ettrick pattern knife in most other ways, just put a cap on them, which neither of the other two do. But this one has got a peach pruner blade, so this is a bit of a half-breed really. So it's not truly an Ettrick because it's a peach pruner, but it's not really a peach pruner because it's got an Ettrick handle. A peach pruner, to my mind, it's not. There's nothing about these that are absolutely definitive. It's really what the maker calls it and what he decides it's going to be. But this one here is a peach pruner from Arthur Wright, and it has, as you can see, almost an identical blade. but the handle is much shorter. Whether it has an end cap or whether it's a bare head is, I think, generally irrelevant to these things. But you can see that this handle is more of a sort of sway back design. If you were thinking case knives, you would think this is a sway back, but that blade, instead of being the straight Wharncliffe blade, straight edged Wharncliffe blade with a pokey point, it's got this sort of curve to it. Now, I don't have a Tailor's Eyewitness one to compare it with, because I don't know that they've made one, certainly in recent times. If they have, I have never seen one. But anyway, 5 minutes in, that's a preamble. Somebody put a comment on one of my posts the other day. It said blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm sorry, but that's what I do. Well, this is the new one from Michael May, and this one is in Stag, to go with my other two Stag ones. This one has brass bolster and cap, and also has some nice filework, which the other two don't. I asked him for the filework. I was ordering 3 knives. You've seen them all, the Kiridashi, the Clayton Barlow, and this. Clayton Barlow comes with filework. I asked him for this one. I said, would he let me know how much it costs? And he said, don't worry about it. I think that's probably just because I was getting 3 knives made. I don't seek from makers freebies. I think it's slightly, I want to support small makers, not exploit them. So, I mean, I'm generally inclined to say, if you want to send me something, I'll either return it or I'll pay for it, one or the other. And I've said that to Michael. I've said it to a lot of makers. So all of these are paid for. There's none of these are freebies. Anyway, you can see the difference. The handle is obviously, it's very much the same in these two Ettricks. The same shape, obviously. I can't remember what the wood is on that one. No, and Michael will come and remind me, I'm sure, in the comments. This one is definitely Stag. It's a nice Stag. I would say between the other two, Stephen Cocker's is just far and away the best. Michael May's is pretty good. Arthur Wright is workmanlike. Possibly better on the back, actually. The back of these, Stephen obviously put the best on the front, but then still that's, if you were ordering these, you would say, that's the best, that's the second best, the third best, the fourth best, the fifth best, and the sixth best, in my opinion. Anyway, it's a nice little knife, and as I always say with Michael May reviews, that whenever I mention Michael May, there'll always be somebody will squawk up and say that he makes rubbish knives. And I have to say, this is my 8th Michael May knife, and I can criticise it, but I don't criticise it in any serious way. I have no problems with the blade at all. The grind is fairly good. The edge is fairly sharp. It's not absolutely 100% straight, but it's very close. Certainly as close as any of these. The file work on the back is lovely. There is no gapping. It's nicely polished and cleaned. The Stag is pretty good. The only thing I would perhaps criticise slightly is the way that the transition from the Stag to the bolsters. Now, I'm not actually criticising Michael for this. I'm perhaps criticising this style of doing it, where the Stag is allowed to overspill rather than being melted into or moulded, ground into the bolster like Stephen does, and even like Ashley Harrison does. But it is a different way to do it. It's perfect. It's quite common. It's often done like that. So certainly I'm not criticising him for it, but I probably prefer it when you see it done. Stab myself here, like Stephen does it. Problem is with Stag, it's always an uneven material, and you're never going to have, unless you have the bolsters all going up and down wiggly, it'll never really match perfectly. Or you remove all the bark from the Stag, in which case what's the point in having the Stag? So anyway, that is Michael May's Ettrick. I think the steel on this is C70. Now this was from his custom shop on his website. You can order it. You can order the blade shape, the handle shape, the materials that it's made of, the file work or not file work, and what was the other thing? I can't remember. There's a whole list of options. Oh, you can have Damascus steel. I hate Damascus steel, so I didn't go for any of that. Actually, this is the one where the file work was included because I remember it was one of the options, but the Clayton Barlow that I showed a few days ago. Well, you'll have seen it a few days ago. Filming them back to back. That was the one that where the file work was. I asked for it, and he did it and didn't charge me for it, which was very nice of him. But like I say, that's the closest I've had to a freebie out of a knife maker for some time. I have had some freebies in the past, but I generally shy away from that. So, okay, that's probably all I've got to say about this. It's a lovely little knife. I like it very much. If you like this video and some of the other videos that I've done, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of them, please subscribe and remember to ring the bell. Thank you. Bye.